trying desperately to paint me as a lunatic.
It was almost like getting to know oneself.
And I will say, I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
When I met her, she was this tour de force.
But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message.
I am really sad for the kind of generation we are developing. She has said one thing that is very interesting and impressive. Her husband recently had a talk where he was talking about the effects of social media. And at times, there are things that her husband says that I think many people need to pay attention to.
I was just musing, by the way, that I really wouldn't recommend giving Candace the I don't care shirt. Because there'll be something very exciting on the back of that before you can think about it.
A lot of people are depending on social media influencers, social media to give them every answer. No one cares to flip open a book, a newspaper, or read any reference to look into it and see what someone is saying. Look at it in reference to what documents are actually there to say, okay, is this true or not? It's the same like what I say. Don't listen to anything I say. I always present the evidence there. I will tell you what she said. This is what she said, and I'll play the video. Sometimes I don't have the time to look for it because I am just exhausted listening to her. But then, with everything I say, check it back. If I tell you my name is allegedly Nemo, I need you to refer it. Check. I could be lying. It is time that many people, individuals, start fact-checking things diligently. Because if people were fact-checking things, more than half of the people following her would have seen so many loopholes already. Because I know there is always going to be a population that it doesn't matter if she comes out and tell them, I killed your mama, they're going to say, I love you, queen. There are just those people. That is why we had people who were writing love letters to serial killers in jail, because there are just some people whose sense of judgment, whose minds have been blown to a point where whatever they fell in love with or like, you can't change their mind. You can change only yours. And you have to work towards it by checking everything. Double check, fact check. If someone tells you that the French flag has been changed, don't just sit there and tell your neighbor, hey, the French flag has been changed. It is now red, blue, green. No, go fact check it. Is it changed actually? Because there are a lot of things Candace will say on her show which are lies. None of it is true. She will just make them out of thin hairs. Woo! And everybody listens to it because, Candace said it. And when you want to fact check her or tell the people, this is not the truth, they'll tell you she has 7.4 million followers. Who are you? Because according to the modern age, this day and age we live in, professionalism, truth no longer matters. What matters to so many people is how popular, how rich someone is. That is the only thing that matters to them. If you're just some low life somebody with your 1,000 followers and you're telling them, hey, black is black and white is white, how dare you? When the Queen told us black is white, how dare you? There is something Candace Owens did towards this time again, as she has always done.
And I publicly challenged the Candace is making everything up crowd to prove it. Press the White House for a response, right? The White House the ball's very firmly in their court. And a week later, this is the official White House response.
She makes a big claim, then flips the burden of proof onto others. And it's the same damn thing she did this time. But unfortunately, many people will not still get it. You know why? She has worked on this art. If you've not watched her media playbook, which I did like a month ago, go watch it on my channel, Candace Owens Media Playbook. It is easy for you to understand it. And if you really want to grasp the full package, that is Candace Owens, watch her Bullington Club association with her husband, George Farmer. Also on the channel, I did that. I posted it last week. I need you to understand what you're dealing with so that if you're continuing with it just for entertainment, it is fine. But I would like us to understand the George Candace Truman show you're watching. So you don't go around hurting your feelings, defending individuals you know nothing about. Some of you defend her, I'll be wondering if you birthed them.
firmly in their court. And a week later, this is the official White House response. So what are we to make of that, you guys?
Candace Owens has the game of bait and switch, and she does it so well all the time. And if you dare to reply to her when she baits you, she is going to use that reply to say, you see, guys, I told you, they're lying. And if you ignore her, she will still say, you see, guys, they didn't say a word. They think I'm lying or they're lying. When she mentioned that the letter that was sent by Charlie Kirk allegedly to Bibi Netanyahu was grossly representing that letter. She baited them to release the letter. What did they do? They released the letter. And when the contents of the letter came out to be clearly a love letter from Charlie Kirk to the Israelites or Israeli government, telling them exactly the plans, the blueprints of how to socially and other ways influence the Americans into supporting Israelites or the Israelite government, what did Candace do? She just started acting all weird and she dropped it like a hot potato. Why has she not debunked or said, no, the contents of the letter is fake no, she has just ignored that one. You know why? Because they fell for her bait. And the same thing with this one with the French government. When she said it, she wanted a reaction. And the reaction was silence, and that is hurting her also because either ways, respond or not, she is going to use it. But you know what I prefer as the best response to her? Silence. Erika Kirk has mastered it, and I think the French government, Macron and Brigitte, have learned the psychology of a woman like Candace Owens, and they used it against her. This is my theory, and everything is alleged in this video. In case I've not said it before, even my name is allegedly Nemo. You remember the tweet, the information they sent her regarding planes and stuff, whatever, which she read online, and she realized only while reading it that her lawyer's office address is in that building. I believe that was the first test of let's see how much this girl fact checks anything. They sent it to her. She came online and lied that she has checked it across multiple agencies. If she fact checked that thing across multiple agencies, she would have realized that her lawyer's office is in that building. And she would have made it clear, hey, my lawyer's office seems to also be in this building. She did not. She just, she said, I fact checked it all across multiple stations, multiple agencies, and she read it. At the end of the day, nada. That thing went down the drain. And that is why she had to flip into another thing. I think that was the first test. Let's see if she will fall for it. And she fell for it like a smutching rat looking for trash in the rubbish of New York City. Okay? And then they said, you know what? She is a go. And someone, I believe, slipped that so-called French alleged assassination plot onto her, knowing that she has no urgency to check it, to refer it, to even look into it if it makes any valid points, because she is hungry for chaos and she and her husband will cling onto any iota, atom of anything that can give them ammunition to go online and cause chaos. It's the Burlington playbook. They go into a restaurant, eat there, destroy everything, and then throw money at it and leave. And if anything ever comes back to bite them, they have a way out of it because no consequence will ever meet them. That is not all. People died in the chaos of the Burlington Club members. But do you know what? Most of them, in fact, none of them ever get any kind of consequences for their actions. And when they saw that that was a go, they sent her the so-called assassination plot, knowing she would pick it. And she picked it. She and her husband sat on it, ate it and they dropped it like it's hot. Now, she knew that she required going in, filing in an official report and which she could have avoided by telling us, hey, I don't trust the government. But this is the problem. After telling us all week that she doesn't trust the government and telling us that there is an assassination plot on her life, she again, by herself, came and told us that her show will be off at the air this week. Okay. And as an update, both the White House and our counterterrorism agencies have confirmed receipt of what I reported publicly, that they have received the rubbish she sent. But unfortunately, she did not file in an official report. And then she said something that was very intriguing, especially to many people, because she has been saying that you can't trust the feds. And then she said, for now, for all of you who doubted my claims, you can now look to the President of the United States and our intelligence communities to issue a statement to confirm whether I am telling the truth. Candace, bold claims require bold proof, and you cannot just make those claims without proof. Okay, let's assume that you couldn't give us, the lay people on the internet, the proof that someone is trying to assassinate you. Why didn't you go through the legal channels and send the proof? This is an official report I'm filing. This person is after my life, just for documentation's sake, giving you claim, because you can't tell us we can't trust them, and then the next minute you tell us we should wait for them to confirm that what you have said is the truth. And you now shift the burden of proof onto them. No, you made a claim. They did not. You made a claim. So if you want them to offer us the proof or to show us that what you have said is true, file an official report, ma'am, and then they will investigate, find out if it's the truth or not, and let's determine whether you're going to be facing a felony or not. I don't know how her lawyers do it, but she has got to be one of the most difficult clients to have. And now she says that the government is not responding
in their court. And a week later, this is the official White House response.
This shifts attention away from her lack of proof. It shifts the attention from her lack of formal reporting, and it also shifts the responsibilities to substantiate the claim from her to the government. And that is a special tactic Candace Owens and her Burlington Club husband, George Farmer, have developed, perfected, and they are using it. He said it. The moment he saw that Twitter force, he knew.
It was almost like getting to know oneself in some ways. It was kind of a very strange experience. You know, it was like I saw myself in her. And in doing so, and that sounds sort of, well, I fell in love with myself. No, I didn't fall in love with her. I fell in love with a woman who gave so much of myself back to me, you know, and I kind of, I was very willing to let myself fade and give glory to her. You know, that's how I view our marriage in many ways. Like I'm very happy to take a secondary position to give glory to her. You know, I'm far less politically involved now than I was because she's much more politically involved than I ever could be. When I met her, she was this tour de force, you know, incredible mind, incredible beauty. I was so willing to just be enraptured to her. And that was really what took place in those kind of 17 days, was the fact that I was amazed.
That would be my woman. She would be beside me as I caused this transatlantic chaos.
She was this tour de force.
Why has she not filed the official report? I have given you all the reasons. The emotional and performative aspect of online platforms. Sometimes people react emotionally, misinterpret information, or share things in the heat of emotion, right? Then afterwards, they don't want to double down with a legal report. They don't want to retract publicly. That one is going to burn. They prefer to let the claim to fade out. So they leave the accusation hanging without evidence. But then, when a story like this one is allowed without evidence, there is no official report, she still comes on to claim now that she wants the FBI to follow up on a case she has not officially filed. You sent a text message, ma'am. If you send me a text message, even in workplaces, normal people who work in offices in any legal place of work, you know for a fact that sending your boss a text message telling them I'll not be at work on Monday is not an official reporting. You send an official email to the HR, okay, to the right people that are supposed to record that, to say, okay, this person will not be at work at this time. I don't know if it is just too strange for people to realize that you have official things. There are official and legal ways to document any event. If it is filing in your office, you have the HR or whichever official way to indicate an incident. If something happens in the office, someone slapped you, you don't just go around sending text in your group chat and say, I sent a report. No, you didn't. Send an official statement through HR. Who saw it? Did someone see when the slap occurred? If someone did not see, it was just the two of you, do you still have the slap mark on your face? Do you have anything? What is the evidence you have? You send it up the chain of command so that it can be investigated. Having a group thread with where you chat with your friends about it, or you send it to an FBI, someone who is a higher up, is just a text chain for people to talk, laugh about while they're having dinner, ma'am. If you want to say you sent an official thing, she said it herself. I'm not the one. She didn't file an official report, and she knows why.
But the FBI left me on red. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
If the FBI doesn't respond, if the White House doesn't respond, if the people she accused do not respond, it can make the claim look less grounded. Not filing a report avoids official contradiction, and that is why she did not. She just wants to let it fade away. But if she was smart, she would let it fade, but she can't, because she has to come out and dance kumbaya to her fans to tell them, hey, oh, tough girl here.
Now, in terms of formal replies that we received from government structures, the only department that we did hear back, well, first let me say I did not at all hear back from the FBI on the American side. I did hear back from the counterterrorism unit. I did hear back from the White House confirming that that message had been delivered on Trump's desk, me saying that I had the information. I guess he didn't want to inquire further, which is interesting.
We are fighting against the system. This girl is not fighting against any system. She is the system. People used to think that, the old government used to be the people lying to them. It is now your favorite influencers who are lying to you through their teeth. They smile at you, collect your money, and lie to you without any kind of regret, thought, remorse, because what you are to them is just part of the show. And the day you drop out, they move on to the next grift, because some of them don't care what happens to you. The inconsistencies, no evidence, vacation, no official steps, make a lot of this thing look untrue. When this thing came out, I was one of the people who said, no, if this is serious, please, the government needs to take it serious. But now, after looking at all the facts, she has said, I've said it. She didn't file an official report. She knows why. She doesn't want to catch a felony. Why? In the midst of a whole international lawsuit with a president and his wife. She knows better. So that's why she left it on a Twitter and Instagram page where she was directing people. And the funny thing is, she directed us to her Instagram page. 1 minute Brigitte Macron was a German, 1 minute she's French, the next minute she's Israeli Mossad. Ma'am, pick a nationality for the woman you said changed from man to woman. Pick a nationality. Or you're trying to tell us that she's all of those things. Let us know. Because you can't tell me in one post, she's Israeli, the next minute she is German. Lady, the fact that someone believed that she was genuinely in danger with her 4 kids and husband, and especially given that a foreign president wanted to harm her, and they did not contact law enforcement officially, did not seek protection. She's still having a podcast. She was ranting over Twitter the whole weekend. or his ex. She was seen out and about, taking photos with people in Dollywood. She didn't seek any kind of protection. She didn't temporarily reduce her public appearances, did not provide any evidence neither to the public nor to the official government officials, because she didn't want to file a report because she knew she would require sending that evidence. Did not avoid any leisures. Didn't take the claim seriously. What did I start by saying? Why is the White House not taking us seriously? She has not taken herself seriously.
I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
She was this tour de force.
And let's take a very deep look into this woman's psychology. Let's assume that what she wanted was for these people in these agencies to answer her claims so she can secure her life and prove that she is not all right and she needs verification. She has said it here.
Now, in terms of formal replies that we received from government structures, the only department that we did hear back, well, first let me say I did not at all hear back from the FBI on the American side. I did hear back from the counterterrorism.
Counterterrorism replied to her. She heard from them, right? If she was in real danger and they spoke to her, don't you think there would be an investigation ongoing now? Probably she heard from them, they heard from her, and they told her, file an official complaint so we can start an investigation, and she did not. Because ask her why, after she heard from the counterterrorism, she's worried why she did not hear from Trump.
I did hear back from the White House confirming that that message had been delivered on Trump's desk.
She doesn't need to hear from Trump. There's something called delegation of power. A president delegates work to different ministers and different people in different departments. You don't expect the president to leave his office where he has to be having the great deals and signing the big, beautiful bills he has been writing to come now and be fighting counterterrorism and threats on your life. That is the job for the FBI and the counterterrorism. Now, if you had filed in an official report with the FBI, probably they'll reply to you. You did not. But at least counterterrorism wrote to you, right?
I did hear back from the counterterrorism.
You say you have evidence of who ended Charlie's life, which means you could have submitted it to counterterrorism and say, hey, this is a thing because this was done by a French legionnaire, as she claims.
Me saying that I had the information, I guess he didn't want to inquire further.
Why didn't she? She did not, because she is seeking attention from the President of the United States, the President of France and his wife, as well as attention from the onlookers who were watching her post, all millions of them, which she was so proud. Because if she was genuinely in danger, she had one of these agencies reach out to her, the counterterrorism. She heard from them. And then she said something that she has not heard from the FBI from this side of America.
The only department that we did hear back, well, first let me say I did not at all hear back from the FBI on the American side.
Probably meaning she has heard from another FBI or something, and she's not talking about, because she said something about FBI of a certain place. If you did not hear from the FBI at all, then probably. So you sent a text message to the FBI, not an official report. You sent another message to the counterterrorism. The counterterrorism replied to you and said, okay, sought a method to help you, right? Why do you require Trump's attention if it is not that you are seeking attention? Ask yourself those questions. Those are valid questions. When you answer those questions, if you're a mother of 4 kids and you are truly in danger with your kids, your family, and you are looking for help, counterterrorism reach out to you, you will not find a way to help them so that they can help you back. You will sit there on your high horse saying, why don't the president write to me? Bullshit. She has not taken this claim seriously. Her behavior, her actions have not matched the claims she has been dropping. And it has been the same thing, the kumbaya with all this Charlie Kirk investigation. It is either one thing or the other, and she drops them all like a hot potato until she finds a thread to hang on to. She keeps going, one person after the other, one thing after the other, one theory after the other. Right now, she said while she was claiming that the French were trying to end her, that the president of France, the French legionnaire, were the people who ended Charlie Kirk's life. And if you have such evidence, right? You claim you have that evidence. Why don't you file an official report? This is the person who did it. This is the thing. Why is she still carrying on that investigation she's been carrying on for 2 months? Because she's still there talking about Egyptian planes and all the grammar up here, the Ripley, they were doing a Cam Riley, Cam Ripley, Cam this. Why has she not filed an official report saying, officially, I am saying the French legionnaire killed Charlie Kirk. This is the evidence I have for it. She's sitting there and saying that they should contact her. Ma'am, you're lying. If you knew for a fact your life was in danger, even if you don't trust the officials, just for the sake of courtesy or for the sake of putting it official to make sure that there is a chain of investigation to prove it either wrong or right, you would have filed an official report. And if you knew that the French legionnaire ended Charlie's life and you have not filed an official report to say it, you are lying. No, she baits and switches the burden of proof now to the French, because suddenly she wants to make it sound like she is out here being the hero of the streets. Oh, Robin Hood. Robin Hood. The behavior is not working. It's not looking like someone who is claiming that you can't trust the authorities, but you should trust her. Okay? The White House or the FBI cannot, listen again, they cannot respond to every public claim. Okay, let me make a claim. George Farmer killed Charlie Kirk. Do you expect the White House to respond to that? Or is it because I don't have 10 million followers that the White House should? No, if I want to make that thing stick, I have to go in, file a report and tell them, this is why I say so, this is why I think so, because I know for a fact I'm not lying. But the reason I will not make that report right now is because I know I am not telling the truth. I have no evidence of it. And that is why Candace Owens did not. FBI, White House, do not, I say again, do not respond to public claims, or at least every public rant made in the open, to confirm, deny, or investigate an influencer's tweet. No, they don't do that. Okay? They do not comment on allegations without evidence. They don't. It is the truth, and Candace knows it. But she will come on her platform and pretend to her audience like the authorities or the White House should be commenting on every nonsense influencers put on out there. It is not the normal format. It is not the truth. They don't get involved in disputes unless an official report exists. Like I've said before, if you are in danger, you don't stand outside giggling in the flower garden. You run to the place of rescue. You run somewhere to find a way to save yourself. But you know what? I think it is better to blame the authorities, to deflect. The common pattern of deflection that she has been carrying on. They have no evidence. They fear the consequences of making a false report. She's exaggerated emotionally, misunderstood something, or wants public attention. She says it, not me. She says it as if she's saying that she does not what she wants, but that's exactly what she's saying. So they will do what? Shift the blame to the government won't respond. Why won't the White House say something? Why don't the FBI confirm my story? Because they do not confirm the rants of influencers. Do you know how many influencers are online with millions of followers larger than Candace Owens who are making outlandish claims every day? Do you think that if the White House or the FBI were to spend government resources on doing that, you think they will have any money left to send off to wherever country they are sending it off to, or to help the Americans? That's not how the they call it legal structure of a country works. And she knows it. That's why she said she has not filed in a legal.
Now, in terms of formal replies that we received from government structures,
legal. And that's why she said there has not been any legal response because she did not make a legal complaint.
And I will say, I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
She made a rant on social media and she made a rant on Twitter and she sent a couple of text messages to an official. Let me ask all of you, if you want to file in an official report and you work in any company, any place, do you send a tweet? Do you send a tweet on social media or do you send a text message to your boss? No, you file in by sending in an email with the official channel of that company where you work in. You know why she wouldn't do it? She knows the consequences of filing a false report. Anyway, guys, like I've said, the Twitter force and the IQ man are causing transatlantic chaos using the Burlington Club report. And that media playbook is good. I must hand it to them. It is very effective and good because when you try to say the truth about it, I'm sure after saying all of this, after explaining all of the legal formalities of why she didn't file that official report, there will still be individuals under here who will be telling me rubbish because you know what? Why look into the truth when you can just insult someone's accent, insult the number of followers they have, or talk about why they will never be Candace Owens? And honey, just for disclaimer's sake, I will never want to be Candace Owens. I never, ever want to be her. Okay? I want to be a wonderful human being, not that chaotic mess. Well, guys, thank you for following me through this and seeing the real life ramifications of things like this and why we need to take these things, pay attention to things like this. Because unlike Candace Owens, who is just having her Truman show or the George and Farmer show, the George and Candace show, there are real life consequences to the actions they take online. And sometimes they want to pretend as if they don't exist, but they do. We have already had a case where someone filed a manifesto. Her name was on it. And she will pretend that she hasn't seen the real link between why someone would decide that they were pushed to such levels by thinking. Maybe take more responsibility. Be much more careful with the rhetoric she pushes out here. But why do that? She has millions of followers. I think her word these days is gospel. Well, that is the gospel according to Candace versus George, chapter Burlington versus social media. Until next time, guys. Bye.